Hello, everyone. We are back with another amazing TikTok live little class here for you. I'm going to give everyone a little minute to get on. How is everyone doing today? Are we all ready for today's live? Hey, Maria. I have my coffee with me. We are truly ready for this. How are you? How was the week for you? I know we have one more day left, but we're this much closer to Friday, you guys. Hey, private packs. You're ready. Yes. Okay, I'm so excited. I love, that's always a good feeling, Maria. I just wanted to give us a couple more minutes and see who else comes on, but I feel like we could dive in. Why not, right? Okay. So, have you ever felt overwhelmed trying to stay consistent with your content? Then this is for you. Today, we are planning your content step by step using the Define Planner, and this is going to be a realistic, aligned, and motivating setup. So I want us all to start off with the goal planning portion of our monthly calendar. Specifically, I want you to start by identifying your goals for the month. And so because we are focusing on content, this month's pathway focus would be career. So we are going to start by writing that in this month's pathway focus box. Okay, step 1. Now, you'll want to then look at your Define umbrella goal planning page and decide which long-term goal you are working on this month. In this example, we will use the long-term goal of post consistently to expose your brand. So that is what we are going to write right under here in this umbrella goal box. So post consistently to gain brand awareness. Okay. Now that we've decided on our umbrella goal for the month, we need to break it down even further. When it comes to content, one of the hardest parts is consistency. So start by being realistic. It's important that you set a monthly action item that you can accomplish. One mistake a lot of people make when they're creating a monthly action item or working on their content in general is that they set such a high expectation for themselves that oftentimes are not realistic. So start by taking a look at your current posting schedule. Ask yourself things like, is this working? And at the end of the week, do you feel disappointed in the quality of your videos? Or where are you doing well with your videos and what's working? In today's example, I am going to be choosing a number that I believe would be a goal that everyone could accomplish starting out. So this month, let's aim to post 12 videos a week. That becomes your monthly action item. Now, as I'm going through this, if there's ever any questions, just let me know. That's what I'm here for. This is designed to help you figure out ways to create a plan and use your Define Planner for content creation. So our monthly action item is going to be post 12 videos a week. And I like to draw an arrow to that corresponding monthly action item. Amazing. Now, the next thing you want to identify is what pillars your videos are. So I like to use the reminders box for this task. And I like to use a color coding system. So every brand is going to be a little different. A lot of this has to be based on if you're a personal brand, if you're a business, etc. But in this example, we are going to use 4 pillars. So you'll see these mad liners here. This is what I'm going to use to color code. So I'm going to start with this yellow, and this yellow is going to be for educational content. A pillar is the type of video that you are creating. Ultimately, it's purpose. So the first is educational. The second is going to be entertainment. The third is going to be promotional. And the fourth is going to be conversational. And I think we're going to go with pink for that one. So we're just going to take out that brown one. And you'll determine these pillars based off of your own content and what you are trying to accomplish. And the reason that you want to color code these pillars is that you want to make sure that when you look at your schedule and your content plan, that you are mixing up the pillars and incorporating different ones into your content. Now, one of the biggest blocks to consistency in creating content is not having ideas. So I actually think it's a great idea to keep a running list of different ideas in the notes pages in the back of your planner. Think of this as your idea bank, okay? So when it's time to plan your week, you'll never be starting from scratch. So that is what is amazing to use the notes pages for. And this is also going to be helpful for the next tip or the next step, which is also in your monthly calendar. So you are going to now schedule in the type of content you want to post each day. When you are starting out, it's going to be hard to plan the entire month. So I actually recommend starting with 1 week or 2 weeks. And you'll start to learn over time what's working for you and where you could see some adjustments taking place. So as we do this, I also want you to keep in mind that you never know when inspiration strikes. So if you do end up making and posting a video that's not on the schedule, that's great. This is used to ensure that you are meeting your goals. So in this session, we're going to work with 1 week in your planner, in your monthly calendar. So you're going to start by looking at your pillars and going day by day. At this point, you've assessed your brand and your content, and you've noticed that you want to start posting more educational videos. So on Sunday, what we're going to do is we are going to post 1 educational video, and this is not where you are going to write the titles. You are specifically going to focus on the color coding portion. I like to write out each pillar as well next to it for each day. So for example, we are going to put education right over here. And it's important that you're taking your time when coming up with your own schedule to recognize, okay, so how am I balancing this? So Sunday, you're going to start the week off with 1 educational video. And on Sunday, you also have a conversational piece that you wanted to get out there. So let's post 2 videos in order to accomplish our goal of posting 12 videos in a week. So conversational will be on Sunday. And then on Monday, maybe you want to also add in an entertainment video, one that's just more fun and lighthearted. So you're going to use that blue to represent entertainment. And you also want to, again, go back to that goal of posting more educational videos. So you're going to add in an educational video on Monday to balance out your schedule. So you'll notice how you're already seeing a lot more colors than you might have seen before. Now on Tuesday, you want to take a look and see where you're at so far, and you'll notice, I don't have any promotional content out there yet. Let's post a promotional content. Private packs, are you with me so far? And you also wanted to add in another entertainment. So amazing. Now you already have 3 days set up for you. Let's finish out the rest of the week together as well. So on Wednesday, I like to have a day where I only create content, and that is going to be, in this example, a Wednesday as our content creation. So let's just write content creation in this extra brown color that we had. This is a great way to make sure that you are setting yourself up for success in terms of posting your content every week, especially when you're starting out. And then you're back to Thursday. So now you actually have an extra volt made because you had that content creation day on Wednesday. So then on Thursday, again, coming back to that idea of where you started and what you wanted to see more of, you wanted to see more educational videos in your feed. So post 2 educational videos that day. Hello, Mara. Today we are going over how to use your defined planner for planning your content. So we're starting off. Yes, I'm so happy to hear that. And then you see Friday and you're like, okay, so what haven't I balanced out this week? Well, I'm noticing we need another promotional video in there. So let's go ahead and on Friday, get another promotional video out there. And you know what? We only have one conversational video thus far this week, so let's get another one of those. We're going to put conversational on Friday. And then, of course, the last day would be Saturday. And taking a look at this, let's do 2 promotional videos to push our content out there. Incredible. Now I want to take a moment, hey Kat, and just check in on how we are all feeling with our monthly spreads. And I'm going to take a quick sip of my coffee while we do that. Oh, Amara, you love the new size. That's incredible. I knew you would. Okay. So if there's no questions on what we're doing thus far, let's move on to the weekly spread. This is where you are going to hone in on the specifics of each video. So it's always helpful to start with your weekly goals so you will carry over the career from your monthly pathway focus into your weekly. Same goes for your monthly action item, which, as a reminder, is to post 12 videos a week. So now you've carried over your pathway focus and your monthly action item. So next, we are going to break this monthly action item down into weekly action items. For this goal, we are going to post 2 videos a day, 6 days a week. And this is how you make reaching your content goals doable, which also makes them motivating. Six days a week. Another suggestion I do have is in your projects box, it's really helpful, especially in the beginning of your content planning journey, to carry over your color coding system. So let's just do that together again. So the yellow, I'm gonna list the colors first, and then we'll go ahead and write them in. And then pink. Okay, now we'll carry over what each pillar represents. Educational is, again, lime green, yellow. Entertainment is our blue. Green is going to be promotional. And pink is going to be your conversation. This is another great way to use the projects box because content is going to be your new project. And then once that's done, I personally find it helpful to set an affirmation for the week. And so this is designed to strengthen your attitude towards your goals and also interrupt any negative thoughts. And for this week, we want to focus our affirmation on confidence and content creation. So, coming back to your why are you doing this, it would be really helpful to grab from the success sheet. The possibilities are endless. This is going to serve as your reminder that you are starting to dedicate your time and really focus on this because anything that you want to do is at your fingertips, and the possibilities of where this lead are endless. And that's a good reminder to take with you if you're ever starting to doubt yourself or have those negative thoughts creep in. Now, before you actually go into your content creation process, you want to go in with a plan. And so again, it is important to reiterate that this plan is your foundation. You can always do more videos than listed, but these are going to be the bare minimum you have to get out there. So we decided that we are going to be posting twice a day, 6 days a week, so every day except for Wednesday. Now in the monthly calendar, we also decided what types of videos we will be posting. So the next step is to carry over each category and decide what specific video and when you are going to be posting in the morning, afternoon, and evening boxes. So we are going to add in our color coding and the title of our videos. This is also a great time to refer back to your note pages where you keep that idea bank. So let's dive in. So to, again, create that balance, you want to make sure that each video is focused on that category in particular. So we're going to start off by posting that educational video on Sunday. I like to start by writing what the title is going to be and also at the same time thinking about what a good time frame would be for me to post it. So on Sunday, we're going to start off with that educational video and we're going to title it The 3 Things That Help Me Stay Consistent with My Habits. And we want to have this be the first video of the day according to our schedule. So we are going to post that in the morning. And so again, I like to use the yellow to indicate educational is going out. And you're going to list the title of your video. This makes it so much easier when you are trying to put together everything and remember what each video is. The 3 things that help me stay consistent with my habits. And let's say that's going to go out at 11 a.m. You already have now 1 video done. That is half of your goal for that day. So that's amazing. Now you have a plan. You can make that video and you know exactly what the purpose of it's going to be. The next is going to be conversational. And so if it's a Sunday, maybe you want to post it at night. So let's write this in the evening box. Let's say you want to post it at 7 o'clock at night. You're still learning what times are good for you and what's going to work long term. So the title of this video is going to be The 3 Types of Motivation. Which one are you relying on? Now you want to make sure that each of these titles are geared toward your specific brand. I've chosen for today's video just a little more general of ones, not targeting a specific focus, but this person would really be focusing on presenting helpful tidbits around motivation and creating healthy habits. Now on Monday, you want to start off by posting an entertainment video. So you're going to do your first one. Let's say you wanted to do this one a tad earlier just to see how that works. So you'll do this one at 10 a.m. And you'll also want to make sure that you accommodate for if you have anything else that you have to do that day, that you can post at that time. So for entertainment, we are going to do a POV. POV, you started saying yes to everything. Amazing. And then you'll continue doing this process. So I'm going to walk you through a full week just as an example to help you out. Now on Monday afternoon, you wanted to post an educational video. Because again, you want to refer back to your monthly page. And let's say you wanted to try mid-afternoon and see how that's working because you have something at night that you aren't going to have time to post. So in the afternoon for an educational, how I use the 80-20 rule to manage my time and energy. Hey, Belle. On Tuesday, you wanted to post a promotional video. So you're going to grab that color and let's try the afternoon and the evening on Tuesday. What's going to be helpful too is that at the following week, you can look back and know exactly when you posted what video, what went well, and make certain adjustments along the way. So Tuesday afternoon, you're going to start with your, promotional. So let's say you post this at 1 o'clock. You could call this one the random Amazon find. This random Amazon find made my mornings 10 times easier. And then you're going to test at night a entertainment video. And you're also going to do it at 7 o'clock. And this will be my 5 to 9 after my 9 to 5. And then you'll move towards Wednesday, which we've already established is going to be your content creation day. So you're going to write that in the morning box right up here. And what you can always do on this day is add to your content bank or start to plan out your next week and then make the videos. But this is going to be the day that you really got to get more videos generated. I wrote content ideas. Let's see, what can we adjust this to? I wanted this to say content day, but we're just going to go like this. Content day. And then this could be your starting list of ideas. Throw that out there. Then on Thursday, you flip back and you see 2 educational videos are going out. Maybe you want to space these a little more apart, so you'll do similar to what you did on Sunday, but even a little earlier. Let's post this at 10 a.m. And this is going to be the mindset shift that helped me stop comparing myself online. Okay. And then again, you want another educational video out there to make sure that you are posting more educational content to your feed. So you are going to schedule this for, let's do 6:30 this time. And you are going to call this one the benefits of journaling for mental clarity and joy. And then for the last 2 days of the week, you have scheduled in a promotional and a conversational on Friday and 2 promotional on Saturday. So let's mix this one up. You're going to post these Friday morning and Friday afternoon. So your first is going to be the promotional. And you're going to call this Hot Take. This product is actually worth the hype. Amazing. Then you wanted a conversational. So your conversational, you're going to post this early Friday afternoon. You want to see how a 1 o'clock on a Friday would do. For conversational, on a Friday, you could do, this week felt like a blur, let's catch up. And then on Saturday, you are going to post 2 videos in the promotional category, which is going to be the green color right here. And you are going to, because let's say you have something Saturday morning from 8 to 10, let's post this at 11. So at 11 on Saturday, you are going to post a weekly reset haul. And then in the late afternoon, so let's do 3 o'clock just to try it out. You're going to see how it goes. You might not like this time long term, but maybe in the beginning you want to figure out what your audience time frame is. So Saturday afternoon, you're going to post 3 products I can't live without because you're really trying to get your promotional videos out there. Okay. And that is a walkthrough of how you can use your Define Planner to generate your monthly content strategy and implement it on a weekly basis. Is there any question about anything that we just talked about? Anything you wanted me to dive a little deeper on? I want to make sure. How do I schedule my lives? That is through, so your lives, yes. Your lives can also be a pillar. I do have, with my lives, I like to create kind of a mix of content. It's that lives are very specific to whatever it is that you are doing. But I like to make sure that I find what times work well for me, what times work well for the community, and I schedule them in as much as possible. And it can be, usually I call it a live, and then I'll have it as one of these as well. So it's a sub pillar within that pillar. I tend to do it as a separate color. I find it easier to recognize. So you could add in that 5th color. You could make red be your lives. That's a great question. And it's really helpful ahead of time to make sure that you have that live has a purpose and you know what its purpose is and that you're mixing it up as well. That's a fabulous question. I want to make sure. I'm not going anywhere. I just want to make sure that before we move on to some other things that we really are all on the same page when it comes to how you can use your monthly and your weeklies to go about creating your content schedule. So yeah, for example, you could add in using your red mild liner. You could add in live here, and you could also do a little sub circle with, let me actually just use an example to make it easier for you. I know you said you got it, but I want to make sure that we're going over it fully for you. So I'm just going to grab one more color. So let's do today, or the 5th, but it's a Thursday. So let's say on Thursday, you want to add in your live. Now, red will signify that it's a live. However, you can also add in, okay, this is going to be an educational live. So this is going to be a live within the educational category. That is another great option. And what I love about this system too is that it's quite straightforward and anyone can implement it, and it's going to allow you to see everything at an overview while focusing in depth. I am so happy to hear that private packs That's everything. That's exactly what I wanted this live to be. I'm so glad it was helpful for you. You got this. I want to transition over